In this video, I'm going to talk about some basic errors and common issues that people run into when they start programming. They can be a little bit frustrating, but I'm going to return back to this pizza class, and it's very, very basic. All it has is two output statements here. We're just going to print to the screen. We have pizza is great, and I love eating pizza. Just a quick recap. To run the program or run the class, we can go run file, Shift F6, but I'll be using Shift F6 as the method that I operate or run the class. Now, common issues when we look at these items is the semicolon. That's the biggest one. Okay, we have to remember that lines or commands or directions in Java, they need to end with semicolons. So you can see these lines of instruction each have semicolons at the end. That would be one of the major issues that people run into, is they just forget their semicolons at the end of their lines. Okay, so that's huge. Another common issue is just when you do the output statement, is that you just mess up some of the parentheses, or I'm sorry, parentheses or quotation marks. So if I delete this last quotation mark, see, I get an error that pops up, and it says unclosed string literal. So it's basically just telling you you forgot to stop telling me what to print here on this line. Because remember, the print, the output, is going to be whatever's between the quotation marks, and there's no quotation mark, the second quotation mark on this line. So the computer's telling you it doesn't really know what to do. So that's another common issue, is people just forget to close the quote there. Also, parentheses are huge. Of course, if I don't have that parenthesis there, I'm going to get an error pop up and it's actually going to tell me, if you hover over, that hey, there's a parenthesis expected there, because it needs that whatever's inside the parentheses is what this output statement does. So we need to have that parenthesis there. That's another common issue. It's also very nice to realize that when you click on a symbol, if I click on this parenthesis, notice how the other parenthesis is highlighted here for me. And it's very important sometimes when you're trying to figure out where your mistakes are, where your errors are happening, to click on a symbol and figure out where the closing symbol is, so that you can see if that's truly what you were looking for and wanting. And the same goes for the brackets. It's very important to realize that our class, our entire program, is defined pretty much here. It says public class. My class name is pizza, and here's my bracket that starts that class. Notice that it doesn't end till it gets down to here. So everything inside is my class. Now inside my class is my main method, and that's this part. That's the main program. It's the guts. It's the directions for the program. Now this doesn't make sense a whole lot until you get further on into Java, but you can see that my main program, my list of directions, starts at this bracket and ends down here at this bracket. Everything inside is my directions. And I would need to make sure that I have, at this point, 4 brackets, 2 to start and 2 to end. Very important. So brackets and semicolons and parentheses and quotation marks, all these little symbols are very picky, because if you don't have them just right and in the right spot, there's very common mistakes that can occur. So if you ever have an error, that's the first place to start, is to check your symbols and just make sure that you have what you were looking for there.